Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Memes of the Week. The best thing you can do for this channel is smash the like button the way that female high school teachers smash their students, so this video reaches a wider audience. And now on with the memes. Number 1, this OF creator claims that she slept with Meta employees to have her block Instagram account restored. Looks like modern problems require modern solutions. But do you actually believe this? Someone needs to check and see if her Instagram was actually blocked in the first place. But if it is true, then why doesn't Zuckerberg talk about this job perk more often? I'm sure he'd be able to attract more high-quality, high-end talent if he invited OF girls to his offices. Moving on, one guy says that all men love this. Yes, that little bit of belly fat so long as it's flat and doesn't have rolls. Turd-flinging monkey thinks that men develop BBW fetishes to get women to pity them and sleep with them. I think he's wrong. The first time I saw this back in the 90s in Korn, I went wild for it. It was actually my preference. Years later, I saw the same thing in ancient Greek's female statues. Then again, maybe that was just fat acceptance back in 400 BC. Number 3, this woman tells the truth. She says, "Dear future husband, when you work for both of us. But when I work for myself only. His job is to provide and her job is to enjoy. Get married, they said. It'll be fun, they said. I really hope that she's got nothing but boxed wine and cats in her future." Why people ask why men not getting married is the fastest demographic, show them this entitled post. Up next, I'm guessing that women will be lucky to even get a job in the future serving fries thanks to automation. I don't know about you, but I'd rather be served by a robot. Or better yet, in 20 years, imagine McDonald's has robots that look exactly like her serving you with no attitude. But even in a future like that, the ice cream machine still won't be working today. I don't know who this is, but to be honest, I'd like to put my fry in her shake. Number 5, this was posted in the men's rights Reddits. I'm surprised it hasn't been shut down yet. But this post says that when asked what 1,000 fathers wanted for Father's Day, 57% of them said they just wanted to get laid. That just shows you how many dead bedroom situations are out there. Between 50% of men getting divorced and another 29% of men not getting action while remaining in their relationships, that means that only 20% of married men are getting some. Not good odds. Moving on, name a bigger downgrade than April O'Neil from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. How about Betty Rubble? I don't really know who thought this was actually a good idea. The least she could have done was slimmed down for the role. Or what about this Indian version of Velma? Doesn't everyone just find her super attractive? And finally, She-Hulk. Women love destroying female characters and making them unsexy because they think then men will start paying more attention to real women. Number 7, if you want to know the easiest way to make money from each of these groups, then here it is. Men's lust, women's desire to be beautiful, selling snake oil to the elderly to improve their health, kids' education, rich people's fear of loss, and brokies' desire to get rich quick. Exploiting brokies this year has been so easy. $20 billion worth of brokey money was liquidated in the crypto crash on October 10th. Up next, this woman says that she was supposed to be the number 1 man-hater, but she met some 6'2" finance bro making 6 figures with a trust fund. And what does she have to offer? Nothing but her looks, of course, as well as attitude as the number 1 man-hater. What makes her think that she's actually going to commit to her and marry her? He knows his value and probably plows through dozens of women like her all the time. He's got the perfect bait, and women like this just keep falling for it. She probably is the number 1 man-hater because this isn't the first time she's gone for a man like this and failed. Number 9, here's someone taking a nap back in 1998 instead of buying a house for 10 grand. I guess you snooze, you lose. I remember houses being around 250 grand in Toronto around that time. Now the same houses are 5 times more expensive. That's inflation for you. As for houses being only 10 grand, that's more like 1963. I could have bought a house outside of Toronto for 98 grand with cash back in 2003 with my girlfriend at the time. Thank God I didn't, because it would have wrecked my life as I would have divorced her. Moving on, here's the absolute state of affairs in Canada these days. Our country is quickly starting to look like Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom. In northern Ontario, there's so many Indians that the demand for turbans is so great that this guy opened up a turban shop. I know this guy. He was in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I'm glad he found another career after getting wrecked by Little Mac. Of course, the demand for turbans is growing when we brought in 1 million Indians per year. Number 11, here's Sigourney Weaver back in 1983 at a hot dog stand in LA. Would you start a conversation with her and try and get her number, if you were around back then? I wouldn't because she doesn't look busty enough for me. Although, to be honest, she's got the perfect face back then. She's still the first and still best female action hero star ever. If you didn't tell me that that was her, I probably would have said that it might be Gina Davis. Up next, this angry man's girlfriend shoved 12 screws up his swing after he passed out drunk. I've passed kidney stones before, yet this looks even more painful. I also had a stent placed in my ureter, and those bad boys look like they'd be doing even more damage and pain coming out than that. Looks like this poor guy's screwed, literally. Also, I only count 9 here, so I'm doubting that this is actually real. Maybe more AI slop for all we know. Number 13, when boomers say pull yourself up by your bootstraps, remember that this boomer just received her 3rd pension, and her husband also has 3 pensions. Lindsay says that no generation after the boomers will have a retirement like this. Diane, the delusional woman with 6 pensions, says that we all have the same opportunities. Of course we don't. The cost of living is crazy, and the opportunity they had will never come again. Moving on, conservatives are pushing to end birthright citizenships for kids of temporary residents living in Canada. Yes, I support banning this. Also, I didn't even know it existed. No wonder we have so many illegal Jeets and pregnant refugees showing up. Unfortunately, the conservatives aren't in power, so it's not going to get banned. I know that Florida gives citizenship through birth. The whole world doesn't do it, so why do the United States and Canada have to do it? Number 15, this influencer Tatiana Martinez gave away ICE agents' information online and has now been deported back to Colombia. Good. What right do you have wrecking the lives of hardworking people just following government orders? And you just know that she's going to cry those liberal tears, and Trump is going to be enjoying the taste. I'm predicting more Western countries will follow America's lead in the future and start deporting illegals aggressively. Up next, and speaking of tears, Chuck Norris admits to using stunt doubles in his films, but only for the crying parts. And his tears cure cancer, making this a loss for all mankind. If we could just collect them and use them. Also, speaking of crying, Chuck Norris doesn't even turn on the shower. Instead, he just stares at it until it starts to cry. Makes me wonder who came up with the idea in the first place to say things like this about Chuck Norris. Number 17, there's the picture of an author who says that Sacha Baron Cohen doesn't realize his midlife post-divorce body is repellent to most women. Yet this is a picture of his new girlfriend, Hannah Palmer. She's reportedly an OF model, but I don't think that Borat cares at this point. But I'll tell you who does care. That fat middle-aged journalist that says his dad bod isn't attractive to most women. She is just bitter because she's going to die alone with cats while rich and famous men would never touch her. Moving on, Charlie Sheen says that he slept with 47,000 women. Dude spread more AIDS than the 1980s. I wonder how many people died indirectly because he made them HIV positive. The AIDS drug company should have hired him to create new clients for them. But I'm calling baloney on this one, because it means he would have had to shag 3 women a day for 44 years. I don't think he even understands that he's lying, and I think it's the drugs that are talking through him. Number 19, liberals are morons thinking that livestock like cattle are eating the food that humans would eat. Meanwhile, 86% of what cows eat is inedible to humans. Plus, cattle improve the soil and live off mostly rainfall. Yet liberals were virtue signal about drinking almond milk, which uses 1.3 trillion gallons of water a year and causes ecosystems to collapse. Yet beef is unsustainable according to environmentalists. It's not about the environment, but about nutrition. If you get enough nutrients from beef, then you'll probably be sick a lot less often. Up next, here we have yet another PDF file, a female one, and this one is selling her house and moving into her parents' property to avoid the victim. At least this story calls her a predator and the 15-year-old boy a victim. As Erin Pizzi, the woman that opened the world's first women's and men's shelters for abused spouses, said that there are just as many female PDF files as male ones, but it's just that the female ones hide it a lot better. Number 21, a woman broke her spine doing crazy balancing stunts like these ones, and now other women won't stop doing them either. People also broke their backs climbing pyramids made of milk crates. People will do the craziest things to get social media attention. At least this isn't as dangerous as rooftopping and jumping from one building to the next. I'm just glad that YouTube banned most of those videos. We're now in an attention-based economy, and you have to be more and more extreme to get it. Moving on, people say that tattoos make women look 10 years older and more masculine. As for me, I won't touch women with tattoos. I won't even smash a working girl with them. Only the ones without. I wouldn't even date women that had them. If I don't have any, then I expect her not to have any either. The only women I'd smash with tattoos would have to have 90% of their bodies covered, and then only recreationally, and because they're a fetish. Number 23, it's nice to see that so many girls out there are taking their dads to Las Vegas. Yeah, she calls him daddy for sure. Sugar daddy. All it takes to score a woman like this is an old man is money. It's combinations like these with older and wealthier men and younger women that are always winning combinations. Also, when women have no relationship with their father, they often get together with guys that remind them of their father. I see situations like this in Miami all the time. But down there, they just call nieces instead of daughters. Up next, remember everyone, the elites didn't exactly get rid of vaccine passports. They're just changing their name to digital IDs. They want to track everything you see or do online so they can build a profile of you so they can tailor algorithms to manipulate you more easily. They're terrified of more and more people freeing themselves from the matrix and they're closing all the exits. Also, they'll just say that if you want a job or want to travel, you'll need to get that digital ID. Number 25 on the last one, a study reveals that women are happier in relationships with ugly men. This so-called study is brought to you from the University of Kolhapur in India. Remember, guys, that the average Indian man has a 3.4-inch trouser slug. How is that supposed to make a woman like this happy? But everyone knows that this story is BS, because I've never known women to be happy in general. This is propaganda to try and trick white women to get together with short, unattractive Indian dudes. So that's it for another Memes of the Week. Please give this video a like to push it up in the algorithm and so new viewers can find it. If you enjoyed this series and want me to keep making it, then donate at the PayPal and Subscribe Star links. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your day, and cheers.